Commerce Commissioner.
This is the most packed this room has been in a long time here, so thank you for everyone coming out, and thank you to Kristen and Carl for sponsoring the lunch today from Platinum Chiropractic. Do you want to come up and talk for a minute?
Dr. Carl will do that.
Sure. How you guys doing today?
Great.
Awesome. My name's Carlos John, and I'm with Platinum Chiropractic. My wife Kristen and I own the practice, and we've been in Santa Clara for a year. We practiced across the street, which landed in San Jose before then. But we joined the chamber. We've been chamber members for a year, and we're growing our practice. And our practice focuses on neurostructural correction. What that looks at is the spine, the nervous system, and we look at where that normal is. And if you don't know where normal is, like blood pressure or body temperature, then you don't know where abnormal is. So you can't appreciate the two. What we do is we take measurements and we look at where your spine and nervous system is in comparison to abnormal. And so people with lots of health conditions, with pain, range of motion issues, things that they're suffering with, that they're taking drugs or they're doing surgery for, a lot of times could be dealt with when we fix the structure or we correct the structure. So what we do with Platinum Chiropractic is we're different because we only look at that structural component. And our goal is to correct people, to enhance the way that their body works and functions in order to make them healthier from the inside out. So that's a little bit about our practice. Thank you guys for being here, for allowing us to sponsor. Thank you for the chamber. There's some flyers that we have, just kind of gives you a visual graphic. If you guys are interested, our card is on there as well. Those little pieces, those things go on the back of your phone. It's a promotional product. And so you stick it on the back of your phone, and then you can put your finger through it so it holds your phone on. Because everyone's on their phone, right? And it props your phone up as well. So we got some gifts for you as well, and some food. So enjoy, and thank you to Nick.
Thank you.
So to introduce Joe here, so when I first took over, a while ago, whatever it was, Joe was the chair, and Joe was my business coach for the first 6 months, meeting us 7 a.m. every single Tuesday morning for 6 months straight, and he really taught me everything that I know now. And so it's my pleasure to introduce Joe up here.
Well, great crowd, man. Thank you for coming here today and spending some time on your Friday afternoon. First of all, I'd like to thank Platinum Chiropractic for providing lunch. It was fantastic. You guys are awesome. Thank you to the Santa Clara Chamber of Commerce for hosting us today. Anyone that's not a member, you definitely should be considering talking to Dome Marina. And there she is, and getting signed up. So what I'd like everybody to do first is stand up. Be careful, everybody. I'd like to reach as high as you can. Reach as high as you can. Reach as high as you can. Now what I'd like to do is reach 1 inch higher. That's what coaching is all about, bringing you that 1 inch higher. Thank you, everyone. And we got everybody getting started this morning. So we're all here to learn something today. Everybody's got their handouts. Take notes. Anyone not have an ink pen? Anyone not have a writing utensil? Excellent. So, first of all, what's your most valuable asset?
Time.
Time. So thank you for investing it with us here today. Well, increase sales, increase price, free up your time, creating an amazing team. Who wants to do that? Who doesn't? Okay, just want to make sure. Okay, everybody's familiar with left brain, right brain? Pretty much left brain's words, math, logic, short-term memory. Right brain's art, music, creativity, feelings, long-term memory, and colors. Right? Make sense? Who would like to increase their reading comprehension by 30% starting today? Okay, next time you read a book, put classical music in the background. It opens up the right side of your brain, your long-term memory. Because books are words, short-term memory. Isn't that cool? Who's going to try that? Who's not? Just want to make sure. Okay, so what I'd like you to do is look at the following and call out the word. Everybody ready? This is interaction. Everybody ready? Go. Anybody have a problem with that? Is anybody here colorblind, by the way? Okay, you're gonna have a problem with those next one. What I'd like you to do is now look at the following and call out the color, not the word, okay? Everybody ready? The color, not the word. Go. Okay, wait a minute. All right, the instructions one more time. The color, not the word, okay? Everybody ready? Go. Okay, wait. One more time, okay? Ready? I did it. You actually did it a couple times. Go. Was that harder for anyone? Was it hard? Why is it harder? Why else? What are colors? What are words? We're going back and forth, right? Your brain gets confused. We learn best when our brain's confused. This is also how we work during the day. How many has ever kind of switched from, how many of you are CEO? Keep your hands up. How many of you are also CFO? How many of you are also VP of Operations, VP of Marketing, VP of Sales? These are different brain shares. This is what my book's all about. We'll talk about that at the end here, of course. You get confused. So we want to try to stay in one modality as we're doing our business. Make sense? Okay. So, this is familiar with the line of power, above and below the line. Below the line, or above the line, ownership, accountability, responsibility. When you take ownership, accountability, and responsibility for everything that happens in your business and your life, it's like having the oar to get you where you want to go. Or blame, it's Jimmy's fault. Excuses, my alarm didn't go off. Or denial, which is means don't even know I am lying to myself. You might as well just stay in bed. Make sense? So, I was doing this presentation, I had a guy say, hey, I got mugs. His name was Jim. About a room about this size. He said, it's not my fault. I said, really? I said, is it okay if we just take a minute and talk about that? He was like, yeah, okay. So I said, Jim, specifically, where were you when you got mugged?
In the dark alley.
Well, because I was in Los Angeles. I said Los Angeles is a very, very big area, specifically in Illinois. And he goes, Compton. I said, Compton. It's a warehouse area, not a lot there. And I said, and what time was it? He said, 1 o'clock. And I said, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. He says, no, 1 o'clock in the morning. And I said, and specifically, what were you doing? He goes, kind of ATM machine. I said, okay, you're in a city you don't know, 1 o'clock in the morning, and you get mugged coming from an ATM machine, and you have no ownership, accountability, or responsibility for that? And he kind of looked down and said, yeah, I do. I've got ownership. Ownership, accountability, responsibility. Everything that happens in our business and our life, when we think about this, when we take ownership, we've got the order to where to go. Make sense? Mm-hmm. Energy, no energy. The only failure in school, if you don't, things don't work, you get a F and you fail, right? In life, the only failure is the failure to participate. If you give 100%, you get 100% back. That's why I'm going to try to make sure we're interacting today, because we're going to participate. The more we participate, the more we get out of it. Sound good?
Yep.
Okay. So, make sure we get the most out of our learnings today. When we say or think this, what happens?
You shut up.
Our brain shuts off. Like a steel trap comes down, everything bounces off. Because I know that. I get it.
I know that already.
Yeah, I know that already. Your brain, there's a chemical reaction, your brain shuts off. You can feel it. Everybody say, I know.
I know. Yeah.
Okay, now try this. Say, isn't that?
Interesting.
Can you feel your brain change?
Yes.
Now you're ready to receive information. Isn't that?
Interesting.
All right, we're having fun now. First of all, a little bit about Action Coach. We are the world's largest business coaching firm in the world. Our vision is to create world abundance through business re-education. Because there's enough business for everybody out there. But we've got to change the way we think. A little bit about me. Basic engineering, MBA marketing, survey business, best-selling author. Everybody, best-selling for almost a whole week. But you can read about me on Facebook. What I can do is, if I can help you, then that's what matters. And I'd like to introduce Elisa, my new partner, or my partner at Action Coach. Elisa, phenomenal wealth of experience, an MBA from Wharton, certified business coach, certified executive, NLP practitioner. But what's most impressive to me is she likes to help people just like I do. And that's why we kind of partnered up. That, and she sold her business for 10x revenue. Yeah, I was like, no, yeah. So she definitely has been there, done it, been to school, has the experience, and I'm proud and honored to have her on our team. So thank you. Okay, what is the #1 reason for business failure? Oh, come on, you guys saw the slide. Well, I usually hear lack of money, lack of this. It's burnout. You get so tired of running so long for so fast, you just say it's not worth it. I'm gonna go get a job again. And job is you know what job means?
Just over broke.
Just over broke. Okay, is that messed up? There's a lot of books out there. Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki. If you haven't read it, read it. How many books a month are you reading? If you're not reading at least one book a month, you need to get started. Most CEOs average 30 books a year. Most managers average 2. Most employees average 0. Isn't that interesting? You want to earn more, learn more. Life is simple. So, who wants a commercial profit advice that works without you? Who wants that? This is the definition of a successful business. Okay? Now, there's some businesses that can't get there.
Like mine?
Like yours. If you're a consultant, it's very hard to get there unless you're going to create a firm. Right? If you're a doctor, it's hard to get there unless you're going to create a firm. Have multiple doctors there.
That takes the fun out of
It takes a little while. It depends on what you want. It's okay. By the way, goal setting is critical. And it's okay to say, you know what? I just want to have a good job but have my own company. That's okay. It's okay. I had a personal trainer in about 4 or 5 months ago, and she came in, and we're talking, and she's just stressed out about her business, and she's not making money, and I said, do you really want a business? But what you have is a hobby. And she's like, no, I have a business, getting all grumpy and everything. I said, no, you have a hobby. You like doing it. Treat it like a hobby. It's okay. If you have a job, if your business is a job, treat it like that. It's okay. If you want a commercial profitable enterprise, come see us. It's okay. She called me back 3 days later and said, Joe, I'm almost in tears. Thank you. I'm like, what? And she goes, all the stress is gone. I said, what do you mean? She goes, I have a hobby. I'm like, yeah, congratulations. And she goes, and she actually look on our Yelp and you'll see, she wrote something, in an hour and a half, changed her life. I get goosebumps, and that's the privilege I have to do when we do this. Make sense? Okay, now how many of you would like to know how to get here? The path. Okay. So building a business is like building a house. Okay? What do we start off with when you build a house? Foundation. Okay. I'm an architect, and that's what we're doing now. So the first foundation piece is mastery. Okay? Mastery contains 4 components. First component is your most valuable asset. What was that again? Time. The second one is you gotta know where you're going. Destination. Number 3 is delivery. You gotta deliver a consistent product. How many of you ever gone to a restaurant, getting a really good meal, tell your buddy about it, hey, let's go to this restaurant. You go to the restaurant and you get not so good a meal?
Right.
Do you ever go back to that restaurant again?
No.
Guess what? Your business is the same way. Who makes more hamburgers than anyone in the world? Are they the best?
No. In business, yes.
In business? But why do they make the most hamburgers than anybody in the world?
have more locations.
Marketing, the more locations, keep going.
You know exactly what you're gonna get.
You know exactly what, and they were the first ones to do it. When Roy Kroc established a system for McDonald's, you walk into any McDonald's anywhere in the world, almost, Australia, they put red beets on it. But anyway, they do, they put red beets on it. I'm like, what is that? But you know exactly what you get, and you get it. That's the third cornerstone of mastery. And the fourth one is money. Who thinks money is the hardest? It's the easiest. It's just freaking, it's just numbers. It's the numbers. You got a calculator, you can calculate out how many leads you need to get with your current conversion rate to tell you how many customers or clients you're gonna have. Customer or clients times average dollar sale times number of transactions, revenue times margin is money in your pocket. Who wants more of this? Keep hanging on, okay. Number 2 is niche. This is where a lot of business owners that I see try to jump to without their foundation, and then don't define this well enough. This includes target market. And when you can define your target market to the color of hair and eyes of your perfect client, then you've hit a target. The tighter that target, the better off you are. If you walk outside today, you might get a little sunburn, right? Maybe. But if you walk outside and get a magnifying glass and put it on your toe, what's gonna happen?
You really are.
You're gonna burn a hole right through it. The tighter your target market, the better off you are. And it's real easy to move that target around, isn't it? But it's real hard to narrow it down. This is niche, target market. Also, unique selling proposition. This is what makes you different than anybody else on the planet, and every one of you are different than anybody else on the planet. Unless you have a twin and then your DNA. Oh, and guarantee. This is also where you do your marketing plan, your 10 by 10 or strategic marketing plan, your tactical marketing plan, and your sales training. How many of you been through sales training? Oh, good number. How many haven't? Isn't that interesting? Half of business is about sales and marketing. Okay, then we got that nailed down. Then we move to systems. By the way, system is acronym for save yourself time, energy, and money. And when I say systems, I don't mean just your business. I mean your marketing systems, your sales systems, your operation systems, your hiring systems, your firing systems, your accounting systems. And then, and only then, can put your team together. Together, everyone achieves more. Now that doesn't mean you don't need resources down here. But if you put your team together down here, you put your systems in place, you have the wrong team. We've got clients right now that have the wrong team, and have you ever tried to fire your brother? We had a client that had to fire his dad. Made me cry, especially it was 2 weeks before Father's Day. Yeah, it was painful. Got over it, but it was the right thing to do for everybody. But when you put your strategic team together, you need your systems in place. Make sense? And then we get to synergy. This is where everything is running cool. It's running smooth. And you put a general manager or a CEO in place. And you change, this is my recommendation, I'm going to go off script on the slide. You change your financials from profit and loss to valuation. Okay? Everyone know the difference? If you don't, come see us. Valuation, because now you start, this is like building the house, this is when you start putting the new carpets in, painting it, putting the windows in, and getting ready to exit. Now this says results, but I say exit, and there's a reason for that. My first year doing this, I had a client that had a $250 million construction business. And her husband had been running it for years. He had just turned 72 and had a minor stroke. Couldn't work like he used to. They came in and saw me, and I said, okay, you know, I got it. What's your exit plan? She goes, I don't want to exit. She goes, I want it like it was.
That wouldn't be 20 years younger.
Yeah, and I said, what about, you know, your kids? No, one's a doctor, one's something else. And we went through and spent an hour with her. I said, I really don't think I can help you. I mean, I can give you some stuff. But what you're asking for, that we don't have a direction to go in. And, you know, I gave her some advice and some other things, but 18 months later, she had to file bankruptcy. $250 million down to zero. Now this was 2008 and everything else was bad, but she could have dug out of it. And I cried because I couldn't help her. So I say sell now because it was her baby. She had created this from everything else. And you can't sell your baby, at least not in this country. So, we want to get to results. I actually say sell. Make sense? That's how we're going to dive into each one of these a little bit. Is that okay?
Yes.
So mastery is a commercial enterprise. Time. Time is your most valuable asset. It's what, again, brainSHARE is mostly about. Available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble. That's number 2. I'm going to do 2 more of those before we leave. So destination mastery, money mastery, and delivery mastery. We talked a little bit about those. Which is the hardest of these?
Time.
And what's the second one?
Destination.
Absolutely right. How many of you know where you really want to go? How many of you have written 12-month goals? How many of you, one more time, how many of you have written 12-month goals? How many of you don't? Okay, we're gonna go off script again. Here's some numbers for you. 70% of people have no verbal or written goals. 27% have verbal goals. 3% have written goals. Now here's the most interesting thing. 98% of the world's wealth resides in that 3% that have written goals. And that's a Harvard Business Review from 1972, I believe. Isn't that? Now a goal needs to be what? Smart. Write this down. Smart, specific, measurable, achievable, results-oriented, and time frame. Everyone that did not raise your hand of having a written goal, I'm going to give you 30 seconds to write a goal. And I don't care what it is. It can be, I want to go to the grocery store tonight at 5 p.m. That's a goal. It's specific. It's measurable, achievable, results-oriented, and time frame. Goal writing doesn't have to be hard. But I want you to write down a goal right now. Got one? You want to share it? Anybody want to share it? Yeah, go ahead, please.
My goal is to gain 20 new customers in the next year.
Is that specific?
That's a wish.
Was it specific?
Yes.
Is it measurable?
Yes.
Is it achievable? Is it results oriented or realistic? And is it time framed? Congratulations, you're in the top 3%. Now we have to put a plan in place to go make that happen, but at least we know where we want to go, right? Anybody else want to share theirs? Yeah, go ahead.
Get funding for my online platform.
Is that specific?
No.
No dollar amount. Is it measurable? If it had a dollar amount.
Right.
Is it achievable?
Yes.
If it had a dollar amount. Is it realistic or results oriented? Probably.
Yes.
Is it time framed? It's not a SMART goal. You need a dollar amount and a time frame, and then it would be a SMART goal. Anybody else want to play?
Okay.
Is that you got it? Does that make sense? Susan?
No, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, I just didn't want to get into specifics.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah,
If it's, I want $200,000 in funding by this date. Boom, it's SMART. How many of you now have written goals? How many of you don't? How many of you have to raise your hand no matter what? I'm watching you. I've been trying to get you to write that goal for a while. Yes, please.
Can you repeat SMART, specific,
Specific,
measurable?
specific, measurable, achievable, results oriented, or realistic. It depends on, and timeline. Timeline, time frame. It says, I want this by this date. Oh, to explain what SMART was. Oh, so the acronym SMART, specific, measurable, achievable, results oriented. It's not in your handout. I apologize. I went off script. Is that okay with everybody?
Thank you.
No, my honor and privilege. Now, I wanna see everybody's hand go, who has written goals? I still see it, he's like, I'm not gonna do it, I'm not gonna, here's probably why you might not do it. How many of you ever heard this? I don't want to write down, because if I don't get it, I'll be disappointed. I've heard that, I hear it all the time. Guess what? You might not be disappointed, but you're not gonna go anywhere. You're not changing. The only time a business changes is when the owner does. Okay, fun stuff. Next, niche, commercial profitable enterprise. No price competition. How many of you would like to have a business that doesn't concern price? How are you gonna do that? Be better, be different, be something.
Extraordinary.
Sorry?
Extraordinary.
Extraordinary. Or it doesn't have to be extraordinary, it just has to be different than everybody else. Every one of you are different. There's a whole workshop we go on defining your unique selling proposition. Elisa, what's our unique selling proposition?
Our value proposition?
Unique selling proposition.
Oh, well,
So-
for us is we have the experience and the knowledge to help business owners. And
We both have MBAs, certified business coach, certified executives, NLP practitioner, and have helped over 1,000 businesses. There's not too many coaches out there that can say that. And then we can. What's yours? I don't know, if you don't have one, at the end, we're gonna give you a gift certificate, come down and see us, okay? Unique selling proposition, we just talked about that. And a guarantee. How many of you have a guarantee in your business? How many of you don't? How many of you are terrified to give one out because it might cost me so much money? That's what I hear a lot. We actually have a guarantee calculator, you can figure out how much it's gonna cost you. We have a guarantee, 4 months we pay for ourselves or your money back. Isn't that interesting? That's also where you do your target market, your marketing plans, your sales training. This is a big deal right here. This is where your business gets to be, wow, I'm starting to actually be okay. Make sense?
yes,
This is your 10 by 10 marketing, your tactical marketing. Does anyone know what a 10 by 10 marketing is? So, you can just ask this once in a while, actually, often say, Joe, what's your #1 marketing plan? And I say, I don't have one, I don't want one. And they're like, what? I said, no, if you've got one marketing strategy that gives you 90% of your business, what happens when this marketing strategy fails? So you have 10 marketing strategies, no more than 10% of your business coming out of any single marketing strategy. Make sense? And then you go into who's your target market, what do you offer them, which is your unique selling proposition. No, what are you offering them? Yeah, your unique selling proposition. Why they buy for you, also your USP. When are you gonna make them the offer? And what's your expected results? In marketing, what's your expected result?
Sales.
Say again?
Sales.
Sales. So if you're doing marketing and you're trying to get a sale, you're gonna lose 90% of the time. What's marketing about? Getting them in the door, lead generation. If you sell when you're supposed to be marketing, you're gonna lose. How many of you go to a networking meeting and start selling? Blah, 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 blah. I've done that. I see people do it every meeting I go to. What should you be doing?
Relationships.
Relationship. Or, hey, let's get together and talk. This is not the place for it. Because you're gonna have, you're there for an hour? And there's 50 people there? Not that you should be just pass a business card, say, hey, does it make sense for us to get together? Let's talk. Isn't that interesting? So the goal of all marketing is either, for most of you, is probably a face-to-face meeting or a phone call, or walking in your door, if you got a brick and mortar. And then, sales is conversion rate. And the other big one is repeat sale. Okay, got niche nailed down? Everybody feel good about that? Questions about that? How many of you have a marketing plan? How many of you don't? How many of you are not gonna raise your hand no matter what? You wanna make sure, if you don't have a marketing plan, come see us. It's not that hard to put together, it really isn't. People say, I was hoping he might be here. Had a client that was putting his marketing plan together, and he procrastinated for 2 weeks. Now, in typical approach, you meet every week. And I'm like, you know, we got going. My job's to help you, keep you going. I said, what's wrong? And he goes, I just don't have the time. I said, wow, how long is that gonna take you? He goes, well, at least 2 hours. I said, wow. We wasted 80 hours, but 2 hours. I said, I'll tell you what. And I handed him the template, and I said, you got 15 minutes, go. And I walked out of the door. As I was coming back, I had a little window. If anybody's been in my office, I got a little window that you can see in the office. And I'm looking in there, and he's sitting there like this. And he looks pissed. And I'm like, oh man, I pushed him too hard. Because sometimes I can push a little hard. And I walked in, I said, so what's going on? And he goes, I'm done. And I went, oh, like you're done? He goes, yeah, I'm done. And I'm thinking, with coaching, right? And he goes, no, I'm done. I said, with your marketing plan? He's like, yeah. I go, how can that happen? And he looks at me and goes, it's amazing what you can do in 15 minutes when you're totally focused. Isn't it? Well, the brain works in 15 to 20 minute increments. If you're not distracted, in 15 minutes you can accomplish amazing things. It's the distractions that get us off track. The colors, the words, colors. You get done with the whole day, you're like, I'm so tired, but you accomplished nothing.
You achieve more when your phone and Facebook is off.
Absolutely.
I'm serious.
No, yeah.
I have a Monday, on a 6 hours Monday. The time was not passing, but I put it off.
Right now.
I was working on something. I was literally craving that I'm gonna eat something and go somewhere, but it was not even 3 o'clock.
Yep.
It happened.
Yes. And this is what my book again. This is number 3. brainSHARE.online. Okay. But it's amazing what you can get done there. So systems create a commercial, profitable enterprise that works. And this is all about how many of you have an operations manual? How many of you don't? How many of you should? If you don't have an operations manual, you can't train anybody to do anything. Here's another one to write down. Pay attention to what you do. With the intention of training others to do it. Otherwise, you're going to be doing everything all yourself all the time, and you're going to get to what? Burnout. Okay, so does everyone know that I'm going to use a Jaguar and a Taurus because I'm old and I don't recognize these cars. A Jaguar and a Ford Taurus has the same chassis, has the same frame. You guys know that?
No.
Have the same frame, exactly. Every business has the same frame. But what would you rather have? A Jaguar or a Ford Taurus? This is the same Golf and Audi. Makes sense? Now when you know what that frame looks like, then you can start building what you want on top of it. Okay? Actually, most business owners don't know how many customers they have. How many of you know how many customers you have? How many of you know how many you need to hit your financial goal for the month? Excellent, great job. Okay. When we look at this, these are results. Okay, how many of you say, I want more profit? Can't have it. How many of you say, I want more customers? Can't have it. You know why? The results. Okay? So, what can you get? More leads. And then you can improve your, which gives you more. This making sense? Can you, customers times what? Times is equals what? Times gives you money in your pocket. How many of you know these numbers? The ones that count.
Yeah.
Count maybe a little bit. If you don't, this is where we need to be focusing. Leads times conversion rate. How many of you know what your conversion rate is? 1. Isn't that? Most people, when they start business, they say, I need more revenue, they go spend a bunch of money up here. How many of you done that? Leads.
Done that before.
Done that before? Guess where you should start? What's the first thing you should look at?
Marketing.
Close. Margin. When was the last time you raised your prices? Guess what? In the last year, labor costs have gone up 22%. In January 1st, it's gonna go up another 20%. When was the last time you raised your prices? When was the last time you looked at your costs and figured out what your fixed costs were? How do I reduce my fixed costs? Because typically your gross margin is gonna stay about the same. Isn't that? Number 2 is conversion rate, because all you have to do is do some sales training. Actually, I usually say number of transactions. Who wants to increase their revenue by 20% in the next 2 months? Try this. Call every one of your customers that you've ever had and say hello. Isn't that the stupidest thing you ever thought of? But guess what? That's what we have most of our customers do. Pick up the phone, call them up, send them an email, say, hey, just want to check in. You know, we did this before, blah, blah, blah. Can I help? By the way, that tip right there is paid for coaching for the next 2 months for you, so come on and see us.
Can I tell you a story about that, about success, not mine, somebody else's?
No.
No?
We got to stay on track here. So let's look specific. Number of leads, kind of conversion rates gives you what? Customers times. Make sense? How many of some of your businesses kind of look like this, right? Now, we're going to go into what happens if we increase the number of leads by 10%? Who could do that?
All of us.
But only if you're testing and measuring, right? If you don't know where you're beginning, you better start there. We start there, and we increase by 10%. How many you could increase your leads by 10%, right? If you don't know how to, we've got 72 strategies to help with that. Could you increase your conversion rate by 10%? By the way, that's going from 25% to 27.5. Make sense? How many of you could increase your conversion rate by 10%? If not, come and see me, that's my specialty. Question-based selling. So, look at this. Number of transactions. How many of you could increase that by 10%? Just do what I just said. Call everybody back. And average dollar sale. Cross-sell, upsell. Raise your prices. How many of you could increase that by 10%? Pretty cool. Okay, that gives us this. That could increase your profit margin by 10%. If you raise your prices, you just did that, by the way. You hit 2 at the same time. Wow. Isn't that interesting? What does that give us? What is that? 61% increase in profit, right? How many of you would like a 61% increase in your profit? What do you have to do? There we go. Okay, and we put systems in place. Now we understand the numbers, and we start optimizing. We got our team. We've got from here. We start putting our systems in place. So, what do your systems start with? Your vision statement. How many of you have vision statements? Mission statements. Culture statements. SMART goals. Or how many of you have org charts?
Org chart?
An org chart.
Oh.
Organizational chart. Who's in charge? My wife. Okay. My wife always goes to the top of my org chart. My coach, when I first started, when we first got started this 10 years ago, I said, "What the heck I need an org chart for? It's only me." He goes, "No, it's not." He goes, "You got a CEO, you got a VP of sales, you got a VP of marketing. You need to put your org chart together, so that when you're in that modality, you know you're in that modality." What are we doing? Are we doing okay on time? Yeah. I had a client, had the biggest opportunity in his life, probably to quadruple his business. Okay, and he had the capacity to do that, so it wasn't we practiced his sales for days. He flew down to LA to do this great presentation meeting, everything. I'm like, he's got it nailed, man. I had practiced everything with him. And he calls me up and said, Joe, I didn't get it. And he's tearing up, and I'm tearing up because we worked really hard at this. I'm like, dude, tell me what happened. And he goes, I went through everything and talked about this and this and this and this. I said, yeah. And then he asked me, could we do this in LA? And I said, and what did you say? He goes, I'm not sure. What happened? He lost the deal right then. Why? Who knows why? No, he went to operations mode instead of sales mode. What's a good salesman gonna say? What's the operations manager gonna say? Let me figure out how to do it. He went from sales mode to operations mode and lost the biggest deal of his life. How many of you ever done that? Yeah, me too. So you gotta constantly do it. And there's a book called brainSHARE that helps you.
That's a good book.
It is a good book. So it actually tells you how to go into that modality. You actually have to consciously go into that modality. Some tools that'll help. I actually bought one of my clients' baseball caps, or one of our clients' baseball caps. Okay, CEOs, and I'd call them up and I'd say, I got a question about finance. And if you say, hang on a minute, let me get it, and I'd hang up on them. And I'd say, during our coaching session, I said, what happened? I said, I called you up and you said, I said, you're supposed to be in marketing mode. Oh man. So he goes, well, what should I have said? It's easy. The accountant will be in next Tuesday. I'll have him call you then. Isn't that? I had another one, a female that loves scarves. So she had 5 different color scarves to keep in mode, stay in that modality for the 45 minutes to an hour and a half. Make sense? So org chart, position contracts, KPIs. You know what KPIs are?
Key performance indicator.
Key performance indicators. How do you know when you're doing a good job? Marketing's key performance indicator is always what? Marketing's key performance indicator is always what? Leads. Sales is always what? Conversion rate, dollars. Operations is always what? Cost of goods sold, fixed cost, productivity. CFO, what's their typical KPI? On time P&L. That make sense? I asked, when was the last time you looked at your P&L? Oh, 3, 4, 6 months ago. You're driving blind. And how-to systems. This is your operations manual. Make sense? Still having fun? Okay. And management systems. Team. So the team, you've got to put your org chart together, roles and responsibilities, KPIs. If you don't know how to write a position description, what do you need to do? Okay, the owner takes care of the team takes care of the customers take care of the business takes care of the owner. Make sense?
Yes.
Where you have problems is when you cross. Now, right now, you as an owner may be the team too. Some of us here, right? But know what modality you're in. So, Richard Branson. Isn't that?
Who's Jim Rohn?
Are you Jim Rohn, really?
Yeah, I know.
Hang on, let me just give you some of these. He was the mentor for Tony Robbins. He went with the Tony Robbins for Brad Sugars. He was before all of the stuff on people.
See, I'm just younger than you.
I know, that's what I was thinking. He's so much younger than this. It's like, who's Elvis? My kid goes, what Elvis? Who's that? Sorry. No, Jim Rohn. I've got a bunch of his audio books. I was trying to think of some of the ones. but everything I'm thinking of Maxwell pops into mind because John's in the screen. But it's on leadership, on mindset. On everything. Before that, there was Nightingale, Earl Nightingale, and so he's kind of between Nightingale and Tony Robbins. About right?
Good description, yeah, good, absolutely.
Brad Shears, he's the founder of Action Coach. In 5 years, you'll be somewhere. It depends on 3 things. And I'm going to give you some different words than this. Is that okay?
Yes.
In 5 years, where you'll be depends on these 3 things. One is the knowledge you gain. I want to say the books you read, because I don't care whether you read a book, whether you listen to an audio tape, whether you do a YouTube video, or go out and do it yourself. The people you associate with. This is a big one. When I was 16 years old, my dad looked at me and said, "Hey Joe, I want you to look around at your 5 group of friends." I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "I want you to tell me where you think they're going to be in 10 years. And I went, "Oh, crap. Gas station, 7-Eleven, somewhere else." And he goes, "Where do you want to be?" And I went, "Not there." He goes, "What are you going to do?" I said, "I'm joining the Army." And that's a true story. I got out of it because that where you're going to be in 5 years is right in the middle of your 5 closest associates. Proximity is power. That's Tony Robbins. Thank you, Tony. And the actions you take. All the knowledge in the world does you no good if you don't do something with it. All the dreams in the world don't do you any good unless you go do something. That's why action coach. Do something. Doing something is usually better than doing nothing. Almost always. Isn't that?
Interesting.
All right. No matter how tough you think you are, you can't do it on your own. I've always had mentors. Always. And most of you have too, whether you know it or not. The question is, do you consciously pick them or do they pick you? If you don't have a mentor, find one. I don't care whether it's a business coach or an action coach or whatever. My job is to help you find them. We've got tools that say, here's how to go interview for a business coach or a business advisor. Find one. I really don't care whether it's me or Lisa or someone else. Find one. We may not be the right ones for you. It's okay. Not a big deal. Everybody's different. Make sense? So now it's time to get into. You do 2 things: nothing, or you all have a feedback form on the back of your thing there. Please, as a coach, I need to get feedback on how we can get better. And after you fill out that feedback, or after you fill out that feedback, I got 10 minutes for questions. You want to turn on the light, please? Please fill those questionnaires out. Lisa, when they go, whenever they want to exit, when they turn in their feedback form, you can give them a book and a gift certificate. If they don't turn in a feedback form, no book. And thank you all for investing your time today.
Thank you.
Thank you. Would you like to say anything before?
Oh, this is great. Yeah,
It's okay?
this is on point.
Did you have some fun?
I did. I enjoyed it very much.
Life is pretty cool, huh? Elisa, is it?
So for, we might not have, handout for everyone, so for whoever doesn't have a handout, if you give me your card, I'll send the PDF to you. Alright.
Want to hear my story now?
Yes, now we can hear your story.
This is about Neiman Marcus. A young man fresh out, and the person I'm talking about told me the story himself. A young man fresh out of college went to work at Neiman Marcus department store in Dallas. At the time, it was the only store that Neiman Marcus had. And he was straightening out clothing in the men's shirt section when Stanley Marcus came in and said, "Young man, what are you doing?" And he said, "I'm straightening out the clothing." And Stanley Marcus said to him, "Why aren't you waiting on customers?" And he said, well, there's nobody here. And he was very apologetic. He had just moved to that town from someplace else in Dallas. And Stanley Marcus went over to the phone book, those real things that we used to have, ripped out a page at random, handed it to him, and said, "Here's your starting price." He called every single person on that page and many others and said, "Mr. Marcus personally asked me to call you, da-da-da-da-da."
Pretty cool.
This guy went on to become the person that took Neiman Marcus from one store to the chain. His name was Bruce Matza. Incredible human being. But it was all from just cold calling.
Oh, what it is that 2 millimeter change. 2 millimeters doesn't sound like a whole lot, right? But if you're going to the moon and you change your trajectory 2 millimeters, what happens? Okay. Your business is like going to the moon. You can change that 2 millimeters very, very simply. Are there questions? Any questions I can answer about anything in business? Oh, yes. You tell me, we're gonna have a raffle for you guys coming in today. Is that okay?
Yeah. Yes.
Sure. So we have raffle, I hope you guys can make it. It's football, Spartans, San Jose versus UNLV Rebels. If anybody did not put business card in here, and if it is this weekend,
Can I put mine in?
please do that. It is this weekend. If you cannot go, just please give it to somebody else.
Yes.
There's, I think we'll pull 4 or 5 and 4 for each person.
I'm gonna put my other business in this.
I just saw the business card. I am yeah. I have very big office space and I am renting the each table. Sometimes I need extra tables. I just saw your business card and I checked the website. So can I get more?
Oh, please do. Don't look, okay?
Actually, I've done a couple of the co-working.
Oh.
We were
I'm not to do
right.
No, it's okay.
Yeah, right.
For the Philippine
And they
consulate.
could you pick one for me? Don't look.
Thank you. Happy to help you anyway.
You guys have
I already give it to you. Oh, you just give it to me. I'm sorry.
Muhammad
Check it.
Saeed. Here?
All right.
No? Oh, you get.
What's this for? Sorry, I was writing.
No worries. It's for a football game this Saturday. It's San Jose Spartans versus UNLV Rebels. Could you? This is for you.
I don't know if I gave
Could
you
you
this.
please pick one for me? Don't look.
I got it around the
No cheating.
blockchain platform.
Perfect. Thank you.
And then on the other side.
No, it's Arlen. You can't go,
That's
Arlen.
already set.
I can't go.
Okay, do you want to
No,
pick one
it's,
for me?
I have your flyers on me. Every once in a while, I bump this.
Perfect. Thank you.
Oh, Jonathan.
All right.
You're not going? Okay, then pick one for me.
Yes.
Yeah, I tried to borrow this thing.
Can you read it for me?
Yeah, sure. I'm in. I'm in. Oh, that's real.
I'm in.
All
Yeah.
right.
What'd you think?
Can you pick one? For you? And read it. Oh, Joe, that's you. I have one more. Joe, go.
My glasses on.
It's Primerica Maria.
Maria.
Oh, Maria.
Oh, hey. If you guys enjoyed this, had a good time, and learned something, please feel free to leave a message on Facebook, our Yelp page, our what other stuff that we have, LinkedIn, Instagram. I'm more than happy to get your feedback. So thank you very much. And I get you out of here 5 minutes early, is that okay?
Yeah.
Any questions?